What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. And we just wrapped up DodgerFest 2024. It was an electric atmosphere at Dodger Stadium all day long. The anticipation to see the biggest superstar on the planet, Shohei Ohtani, was off the charts. He did not disappoint. He answered questions from media members. He met with Sportsnet. He waved at fans. He had a really good time. A lot of the players were seeing a lot of very interesting things about this upcoming season. We'll get into that. It's going to be a part one. We're going to drop a part two a little later. It's more of a vlog of the day, so can't wait to show you guys that. But also want to say it was really cool meeting a lot of you. Met tons of you out there, and I really appreciate it. All the support for the channel and for the show, and I look forward to meeting you guys all season long. And be sure to subscribe because we're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at Dodger Stadium and following this team and taking through all the press conferences on the field lives. We're going to be doing it all season long here at Dodgers Nation. You do not want to miss out, so be sure to subscribe to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel, hit that like button. But without further ado, let's get right into it. DodgerFest 2024. Shohei, individually and as a team, what would you consider to be a successful next 10 years here with the Dodgers?
個人的にもチームとしてもここ10年間で何を成し遂げたら成功というふうに言えますでしょうか。
優勝一択じゃないかなと思うので、そのためにみんな頑張ってる、どのチームもそうですけど、そのためにみんな頑張ってるんじゃないかなと思います。
I mean, I think the only choice is winning the World Series, and I mean that's every team's goal, and that's definitely one of ours, and it's the biggest one.
And Mookie, last season you finished second in the MVP, finished with more WAR than MVP winner. But how would you assess your 2023 season looking back?
It was cool. It was cool. I mean, at the end I kind of let up, and that's what I didn't like. I didn't like that, and then it kind of bled into playoffs, and I didn't play well in playoffs, and so that kind of ate at me more than people think. Just because I don't voice it, that doesn't mean it doesn't eat at me. So my goal, now, and I guess if you want to say anything, is just to complete the season. Finish the season, the whole time, from the beginning to the end. Play a complete season, and I can be happy with that.
And as far as peaking at the right time, is there anything you did this offseason to maybe make that happen?
No, I mean, I think you just got to prepare. I mean, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, I did have a pretty good season last year, and I think there's no arguments there. But at the end, we just got to figure it out. I don't know what it is or where it came from, but for me to go change a whole lot of things after the season I had, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we just kind of got to get there again, and we'll figure it out.
And as far as the narrative of you guys being the villains of baseball or anything like that, what are your thoughts on that? And do you think that it could be good to lean into that a little bit?
I mean, I don't know how we establish the villains. I mean, I don't know, where it comes from. But hey, it is what it is. If it's what you want to give us, it's what you want to give us. But yeah, we do have to embrace it. It is what it is. Every team we play against, they're going to come for the Dodgers. If I was another team, I would come for the Dodgers every single time. So we have to embrace that and fight back. Nobody's going to roll over. Nobody's going to say, oh, they got these players, and so they're better than us. Like, nah, they're here to prove, and they're here to eat just like we are. And so we just got to go back at it.
Thanks a lot, Mookie. And Walker, after you saw the trading extension for Glass now, they signed Yamamoto. Did you think at all how that would impact your future as a Dodger, possibly?
It's not my decision, man. At the end of the day, this organization does a really good job of acquiring and identifying talent, and we've known Tyler Glasnow for a long time and know what he's capable of, and obviously Yamamoto we'll see when he gets here, and we're all really excited to see him throw and see how he works. So I'm excited to be part of this rotation whenever I can.
Yeah, well, you've had some strong opinions about baseball-related stuff. Of course, some people out there view you guys as the villains. What are your thoughts on that? And is there a world where you might want to lean into that a little bit?
I just think it's interesting. Everybody says we can't get it done, and then we get it done, and then we're the villains because we went and got some good players. And we've been developing really good players here for a long time, and signing big free agents for a long time. So I don't think any of it's really new. It just so happens that it happened a lot in one off season, and I know internally we're all very excited, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter a whole lot what everybody else says. We want to win the last game of the year.
Thanks, Walker. It's been really consistent, one of the most prolific sluggers for the Dodgers. But what are your personal goals as a hitter this year?
I'd like to be a little more consistent. Just trying to. I'm a couple years removed from my injury, so I'm hoping to be able to get my swing, my body a little bit more consistent, and obviously I'd like to see a little bit higher average up there. I know that's not the end all, but as a baseball player, you always still kind of look at that. So for me, just being a little bit more consistent and just getting a little more consistent contact, putting the ball in play a little bit more.
As far as defensively, what was your offseason like as far as preparing to play third base for another season?
Yeah, did a lot of work. Last year, just the way the season started for me, I had a couple mishaps, and that got in my head. And from there, it kind of snowballed. And this game's hard to play when you have anything in the back of your head. And so for me, it was just clearing my head, getting back to basics, and like I was just saying, get a little bit more flexible, a little bit more mobile. And I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now. I've done a lot of things differently, and I'm excited to get going.
Yeah, Max, there's this narrative that there's this villain label that's put on you guys right now. One, what are your thoughts on that? And two, is it possibly a good thing to maybe lean into that a little bit?
People are always going to talk.
Yeah.
We got to worry about ourselves. We can't worry about what other people are saying or what is being put out there, because that shouldn't affect us. We got to show up, prepare, play the game, and focus on ourselves, not focus on anything else. And as long as we can do that, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Thanks, Max. Last year, you made your debut. You had your first postseason start. How would you assess your 2023 season? What did you learn from that season that you're taking into this year?
Yeah, I think I made some big steps forward after my debut. The debut was a good day. Not as efficient as I wanted to be, but to get a win on my debut was pretty special, to say the least.
Yeah, you have everything as far as electric fastball, so many pitches, but what do you think is the biggest key for you to take the next step in your development and just establish yourself as an ace in this league?
Yeah, like I said, consistency. Just finding consistency out there. A big struggle for me last year was my slider. I had the curveball and changeup, heater working. So the big attack this offseason was working on my slider and getting that fourth pitch back, and I'm really pumped about that, and it's been going really well.
And how would you assess your mix right now? Are you tweaking your mix at all heading into this season?
Same mix as last year, 4-seam, 2-seam, curveball, slider, changeup. Really trying to get that slider back to add another weapon.
Thanks, Bobby.
Yeah, no problem.
Blake, how did you feel at the end of last season, performance-wise and health-wise?
Not happy about my performance. Never really felt like I was in a place to be who I wanted to be. But, when you're going through, I've never really gone through a surgery before, so I know in most of my career when I've had some barking pains, you kind of just keep throwing, and you just kind of see the light at the other end of the tunnel at some point. Never had that, so we just determined, hey, let's just have a healthy offseason and move on. So, it is what it is. I did the best I could. I worked hard, and it just wasn't the outcome to help come back with the club. This year, I feel way better.
And Blake, outside of health, what do you think is the biggest key to you getting back to being the dominant reliever you were earlier in your Dodgers career?
I think just getting reps. Honestly, my body, my arm, I have zero discomfort when I throw. So the biggest thing is just trying to retrain myself to hit the certain mechanical cues I've done in the past. And I'm doing a great job right now. So it's just building off that. And then, we've got spring training. Hopefully have a chance to make that roster in Korea. We've got so many great arms that are going to be vying for spots. So, just trying to show them I can still contribute.
Thanks, Blake. And Blake, everyone talks about the starting rotation, the lineup, but how do you assess the bullpen as far as being a strength for this team?
Our bullpens had their back against the walls. They've had to, post up when injuries have happened. They've performed maybe when people, not to generalize in the baseball media side of things, has maybe said, hey, we're not too sure about where things are going. And our guys have performed. And it's a testament to how we develop players, the confidence that players put into each other, and the lineup, the way that they run the guys out there. So our guys are battle tested. You can easily go look at the last 3 years and see how that's worked out. So I'm not concerned. The biggest thing is let's just stay healthy.
Absolutely. And Tony, how important is it for you to just stay engaged and be around your teammates to help you get through this rehab process?
It's been great. I've been fortunate enough to have Dustin there at the field. Outman's been there. Barnes has been there. Some of the other guys, lesser-known guys, Knack, Frasso, they've all been in there, in and out too. But it's been great having those guys there and being able to chat when I need to. And for Dustin in particular, being able to pick his brain about TJ and about recovering from surgery and all that's been awesome.
Well, I knew that was the plan about a week after we lost, that's what they wanted to do. I don't know about, I don't know how they were going to pull it all off. But yeah, Andrew told me the plan was to go after Shohei and Yamamoto, and obviously I said, is Jason in there? And he said, yes, Jason's a part of that. So after we signed Shohei, I think everybody was like, oh, that's quite a bit of money. I don't know, what are we going to do? And next thing you know, Yamamoto, Glasnow, that just kept coming. And you just kind of sit back and just smile and just realize that you're part of something special that they're trying to do around here. And, that's all you can really do. Every edition is just another thing that we can go over and hopefully win a World Series with.
When you heard it, the plan to go after both, I assume Andrew told you or something?
Yeah, I said Mark's gonna go for that. He goes, yeah, that's the plan. That happened pretty quickly. That was their direction. Obviously, there was plan B and C too, I'm sure. But when they said they were going to go do that, and I was like, oh, well, I hope that works out because that would be good for everybody. So they worked out. So hopefully we can have a great year.
I think versatility across the board. I think we have a lot of talented pitchers. We're getting healthier with Treinen and Joe Kelly coming back, and then having some mainstays like myself, Bruce Dar, Caleb Ferguson, Alex Vesia. I think having that core group of guys to rely on in a multitude of roles is going to be great for us this season.
And you're excellent as a high leverage reliever as a closer, but if you just kind of break down the difference from a preparation and mindset and standpoint, just kind of doing those two roles.
Sure, I think the primary difference is that the ninth inning is when the game is over. So I think managing that inning and navigating those 3 outs specifically a bit different than you would perhaps in the 6th or 7th inning when there's still some game to play. Valuing those 3 outs and keeping those as pivotal as they can be to ensure the game ends, right? Because that's the whole idea of being a closer. So going out there and finishing the job is critical.
Awesome, thanks, Evan. You're really, really strong after the All-Star break. What was the key adjustment for you to be able to have that success?
It was pretty much like locking in like my routine, right? There's been a lot of talks of like the pitch clock, right? And then like my mechanics and everything like that. After the All-Star break, I felt like I was very confident with my routine and kind of being able to adjust to that tempo. Off season rolls around and I still am working on that. Going into spring training right now, it's a main focus. Making sure that when the season rolls around, that routine is locked and ready to go.
And what do you think are the biggest keys to like keeping your mechanics synced up?
It's it starts with the off-season throwing program, right? Taking it one day at a time, making sure that you throw your bullpens and your long toss and everything like that. But I've been feeling really good, and we'll see when the spring training rolls around, and I'll be ready.
Yeah, last year we talked about you adjusting to that pitch clock. You told me it was going to be a challenge for you. Are you fully adjusted at this point?
Yeah, I would say so. I definitely, everyone has small ticks here and there that work for them. I feel like I found mine, so we'll be good.
Thanks, Alex. And Ryan, of course, teammate Tyler Glasnow, he is traded here. What can Dodger fans expect to have Tyler Glasnow on the mound in Dodger Blue?
Big stuff. He's got incredible stuff. I think there was always talks with Tampa, and I still fully believe that. Like, he has probably some of the best stuff in all of big leagues. So you're going to just see some just stupid swings, just awkward swings, and no one's going to be comfortable at bat against him. Works his tail off, great teammate, so he's going to be a great person to have around.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we look at this rotation, it's stacked. Last season, you had opportunities to start coming out of the bullpen. How do you envision your role for this season, and what have you done to prepare for it?
Yeah, I mean, just preparing for anything that comes, whether it's, starting or leaving, I'm ready to do whatever they want me to do. I think, Mike would probably say the same thing, so yeah.
The command was a little more improved coming out of the bullpen. Can you talk about the different experience coming out as a starter and as a reliever, and also just like how the mindset is a little different?
Usually as a reliever, you kind of know what group of hitters you have coming to the game, so every time they roll around, you're preparing for 3 to 5 guys instead of 9. I think it just gives you a lot of conviction in what you're doing because usually you're attacking them all similarly. But like I said, being able to use that and translate that to a starter's mindset as well is a pretty cool experience just to have done both.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Yep. Kyle, last year, your debut, you retired Tatis, Soto, Machado in order. How much confidence does that give you heading into this offseason? Just how many times have you watched that and relived that this offseason, Kyle?
Yeah, it was definitely really cool, and having that kind of momentum was awesome. It kind of made me want to work even harder to try to crack that roster, and whatever happens, and I'm just excited to be here.
Yeah, and as far as your role this year, of course, we're going to do anything to help the team. Your ability to kind of miss bats in the zone, work in the zone. What has to happen this year for you as far as mechanics to really help this team?
During this offseason, I've really been working on my slider and trying to get that more consistent. So if I can have that along with changeup and fastball, I think it'll be a really good season.
Awesome. And Gavin, I want to ask you, when you first came up, of course, you came in one of the highest rated prospects in the organization, had some ups and downs, but you tinkered with your mix a little bit towards the second half of the season. How's your mix looking right now, and how's it important that you have a little more east-west with that sinker cutter for you to have success, and how big of a key is that, Gavin?
Yeah, so I added the sinker cutter, middle of the season last year, and it really helped just keeping hitters off of the changeup, so I didn't have to throw the changeup early, and the slider. It just helped keep them off of other pitches that I could use later in counts. So I think that's a big help, and we're going to take that into 2024.
Yeah, just how much more relaxed do you feel having made that big league debut, knowing what it's like to see all these decks, to see Dodger Stadium? Just how much more relaxed are you heading into this year?
Yeah, a lot more relaxed this year. I think last year, definitely there was nerves and stuff, just being around the guys and being in the big leagues for the first time, and so I think it's going to be a great year.
Awesome. So also, you guys will be signing autographs today. Wanted to ask you guys, what's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked to autograph?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a shoe.
A shoe?
I think a shoe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Kyle?
Probably a cup or something.
A cup? Awesome.
Yeah.
You'll be signing babies before you know it. That's all I'm saying, okay? All right. Thanks, gentlemen. Nick, your stuff is electric, fastball, arm side run. You got the changeup. But what do you think is the biggest key for you to take the next step?
Honestly, for me, just kind of do what I do. I guess just stick with what I do well, whether that's like my fastball, changeup, whatever was working that day, and just kind of having the confidence in my pitches to just keep going out there and stay consistent, just to do well overall.
Yeah, and it's a good chance you'll probably make your debut this season. Have you thought about that? And what are you looking forward to most when it comes to making that debut in that uniform?
Yeah, we'll actually see. I suffered a little bit of an injury, so a little bit of a setback, but still obviously optimistic, and everything's going well thus far. So just staying optimistic and hope we can get out here as soon as possible.
Yeah, and how'd you absolutely rake last season? What did you learn last year that you're taking into this year to have that same level of success?
Right, so during spring I was kind of working on a little swing change, so just kind of staying consistent with my routine and that, and just keep going, keep working with the pitchers, building good relationships with them. So.
And the Dodgers have one of the best catchers, in my opinion, the best catcher in baseball, Will Smith. What impresses you most about Smitty?
Just his demeanor and how he handles everything on the field. He's kind of not like high energy, but he gets the job done. He works well with the pitchers, and he's an outstanding hitter. So.
Awesome. When you've pitched, it'll be almost 2.5 years since you took the mound at the big leagues. What is the most important thing for you to have success early on?
I think throwing strikes. I think we just got to get in the zone and attack guys and trust my stuff early. And I know that everyone here, the whole team will have me ready to go for the year. So I think just attacking the zone and attacking hitters and being confident with it.
And you play for some of the top organizations when it comes to player development. What are the key differences between the Dodgers and the Rays? Are there similarities? I mean, what is kind of the thing you learned from the Dodgers?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities between the Rays and the Dodgers. I mean, with our guys, most of our guys coming from Tampa, and it's kind of funny. We have like Evan, Tyler, Yarborough, Margot. Like we got a lot of old former Rays here, but I think working with McKain for the past couple weeks, I've been down in Arizona working with him, and it's been great working on just tweaking a couple things and making sure we're ready to go. And I mean, we have the best of the best here, and that's I mean, we have the best players, we got the best staff, so that's the exciting thing about it.
Offensively, and you don't really see guys be able to maintain that for as long as you have. Still top 5 pretty much every single defensive metric. What's been the biggest key to that? Have you adjusted your routine at all to be able to just maintain that excellence at that position?
Yeah, I continue to prepare myself and take a lot of pride of being a good shortstop. That's kind of my best tool, and I can't really lose it because as soon as you lose something like that, managers are not gonna see you the same way. I just want the organization and Doug to see me as an everyday shortstop that can play the position and they feel comfortable doing it. So that's why I continue to play good defense, because I really take pride of it.
As far as offensively, what do you think is the biggest key for you to just reach your goals at the plate?
Yeah, for me, it's continue to be myself and don't try to do too much. I feel like I know the player that I am. I've been playing the league for 10 years now, and nothing has changed. Even when I try to do more, things doesn't work that way. Like I know who I am as a hitter. Always I try to improve and try to be the best hitter that I can be, and be the best player I can be on the lineup. But at the end of the day, knowing who you are and continue to do what you can do.
Awesome. Who's gonna have the best player edition cleats this year? You or Mookie?
Mookie's gonna give me a lot of his stuff, so I'm probably gonna say Mookie because I'm gonna be wearing a lot of his shoes, but I'm bringing my own too. You know, like always trying to spice it up with my colors and my own thing. You know, everybody knows that I love shoes.
Awesome, thanks, Miguel. Appreciate it. The Brewers, they just traded Burns, and some shortstops could be available. How confident are you in Gavin Lux that he can get the job done as an everyday shortstop this season, coming off that injury?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great about Gavin. He's looked great working out here. He's had a really dedicated offseason, and we feel just as confident now as we did last year coming in that he's ready to take over at shortstop.
And as far as how would you assess the bullpen right now, and is there a possibility you might make a move to address anything to bolster the bullpen at this point?
Yeah, we feel good about our pen right now. Those guys performed at a really high level down the stretch, and then we're getting the additions of Blake back, and then Huddy back into spring training is going to be exciting as well.
Thank you, Brandon. And Brandon, do you expect Walker Buehler to be ready to go at the beginning of the season, and what are fair expectations for him this year?
Yeah, I think for Walker, we'll have those conversations, and see how he's going and figure out what is best for the team, balancing short-term, long-term. And I think, throughout the off-season, talking with Walker, everything that we have been mindful of is to make sure that he's layering on the proper amount of innings that keeps him sharp but ready to go down the stretch. His bullpen the other day was outstanding.
Awesome.